PatrolPro device demo. We'll begin with logging in with the assigned employee ID. Once you've clocked in, if you're in a route system, you'll have the ability to the client to start off with. If you're not on a route system, once you've logged in, it will go immediately to this screen. On this screen, which is your interface, you'll notice that you're logged in as your name should be in the officer area, and then along the top will be the client that you were logged into. We'll begin with starting and looking at our post instructions. So we'll go down to the bottom and we'll click on the View Instructions button. This allows us to look at our post instructions for this particular property. Post instructions will give you gate codes, emergency keypads, contacts, and all pertinent information that has been given for this client. If you're in a route setting, you can go up to your routes and select from your list of clients. If you are not in a route setting, then this is not important. Now that we've changed, again, you will notice across the top that we are in the client, and this is the particular client that we are at. Let's begin our shift. We arrive on property, we've clocked in. Let's go ahead and add our notes. So we'll select our notes section and we'll add a note. Now that we've made the notation that we have arrived, we're going to go ahead and save that. Now that we have saved this, and we're going to go back to our home screen. Now that we're on our home screen, we have our ability to see, again, our choices ahead of us. Let's go back in, let's begin our rounds. Go back into notes. We've checked our logs, we've checked everything we need to get ready for our shift. Let's begin our shift. We've now begun the patrol. First thing that we are to do, as we go throughout our shift, we'll add notes. Each time we'll add a new note. So we've checked our main office, made sure that we had that done. We save that note, and we continue to move on throughout our shift. We'll check our main points. If we make errors, you can go back just like you would within a text message and make your corrections. If there's anything out of place, we want to go ahead and make a notation of that. Now at this point, we've made a notation, something's out of place, so let's go ahead and document that. In order to do that, we'll go up to our images right here across the top, and we click on the images button. The images here, we click add new. When we click add new, it will take us to our camera screen. Camera screen is available using the camera that is in the phone. Once we've finished taking our pictures, doing things like that, loading those in, it allows us to go back, and yes, we want to save the process. So now we're going to go ahead and save this again. So now we've saved notices, and we notice that there's a picture. As we look through our daily reports before we arrived on the property, we began our patrol. We've checked the main office, we've checked the maintenance room. Now we know we took a picture because in the upper right hand corner there's now an image. That way you know that there is a picture that is uploaded to that note. Let's continue on with our shift. Our next thing is to check the parking lot. Now we've made a note to scan waypoints. These are the NFC tags that have been located throughout the property and will allow us to notify where we've been and what we've done. Now that we've got our waypoints, let's go ahead and save this. We walk over to the waypoint, which is the little brown NFC tags that have been placed throughout the property. Hold our phone up to it till it makes a noise, checks in, and tells us that we've scanned in the location, the back door east, and it was successful. Continue that throughout our waypoints. And we'll make a note about that. Okay. Now, as we're scanning and patrolling, we come across an incident. Two people arguing outside of a building. So we want to go in here and we want to create an incident report. Incident reports are used for immediate notifications to the client or to a supervisor. I'm going to select this as a disturbance. And we're going to make a note about exactly what happened. Arrived on the scene, man and woman were arguing. The man seemed to be intoxicated and belligerent. I gave them a warning. See the warning report. Again, here you can go in and you can create an image of the man and the woman by simply hitting the images button at the top and adding a new image. Pictures of any injuries, pictures of property that's been damaged, so on and so forth. We'll go in, we'll save this. Here we have the options to notify if management has been contacted, client is contacted, or if the police have been contacted. Okay, so now that we've created our incident report, let's go ahead and get the forms that we gave out, which was a warning report. Just go into forms. We'll go to our warning report. We want to add a new entry. Here we have a drop down and a list of violations. Here we have, I gave the man a warning for drinking in public. We'll enter in the information. He is a resident. He's not a guest. He is not banned. And there is no fine to be assessed. I can come down here, make my notes. Here you can also add images and things like that along the light way. Here we're going to save this. Data has been saved, and we proceed to our shift. The next form on our list will be parking violations or maintenance reports. Maintenance reports are basically going to be used for water leaks, non-emergency lights out, that kind of stuff. You'll want to make those because these are reports, and all of these forms are things that will be sent out at usually 8 o'clock in the morning and provided for the client to review and things like that and send in the direction that they need. So as far as maintenance reports, lights being out, the pool light being out, parking lamps being out is a big one. Those kind of things. You'll use this maintenance report for that. Parking violations for whether it be businesses or apartment complexes, residents, things like that. Again, you go into parking violations, you'll enter a new entry, and you have a drop-down list that gives you an array of violations. Loading docks, fire lanes, handicap parking, loading zones, all of those kind of issues, things like that will be documented here. And what you did about it. So you've got your final warnings. You can notify the manager. This allows your supervisor to see what was actually done. If the vehicle was towed or impounded or something like that, this is where you'll go in and you'll make that report. Again, as you fill out this information, your tow company, your agency, your license plate numbers, makes and models, colors, notes, and again, you've got images. Images is a big deal. You want to use those as much as possible. Capture the license plate. Capture the color of the car. If they're double parked, you want to have video evidence of what's gone on. If you need to go in and edit any of these forms, let's say you got the license plate number wrong, or something's transpired in that warning that we gave earlier, and more has happened, you've had to return to that incident. Let's go back to the warning. Once we hit our warning report, we've got a time and a date stamp for the report that we did earlier that day. We bring that up. It gives us a selection. Okay, so now we need to add on to what's happened on the property. In order to do that, we just go in here and we add the note. And again, all we have to do then is save. Now that we've saved that form, we return to our home screen and continue throughout our shift. At the end of our shift, typically, it's best to go in, add a note, and then that we are completed with our shift, we have our incident that shows up on your notes screen, as well as all your daily reports and things that we've done throughout our shift. Incidents will be indicated in red so that you can see what all has happened. And we're going to end our shift. So we'll go into our notes section and we're going to end of shift. This is basically just a notification to allow our management to know when we were actually leaving the property. Return to your home screen, and to end your shift, you'll hit the log out key. Now that we've logged out, we say yes. We are now cleared of PatrolPro and free to move about and do our business.